There's only one king she'll follow, and it's not Randor. Here's your look at the Mattel Masters of the WWE Universe, Stephanie McMahon. WWE and Masters of the Universe combine into a powerful force. The Masters of the WWE Universe channel the power with this highly posable action figure, a WWE superstar, as a Masters of the Universe character. Before we get a closer look at Stephanie McMahon, the first thing we're going to want to do is figure out how tall is the figure. It stands to reason, I'm sure, that looking at this figure, you know it's going to pretty much be the same mold as what we're getting with both Evil Lynn and the previously looked at Tila. Nonetheless, though, we're going to take, like I said, the tape measure right to the very top of her crown here, and we're going to stop it right there. If I'm reading this correctly, you're looking at Stephanie McMahon from Masters of the WWE Universe standing 6.7 inches in height. We can switch that over to centimeters, revealing that the figure is 17.1 centimeters tall. Bringing in a couple of the single ladies, here she is next to Evil Lynn version 2, the Evil Lynn that had the paler skin and not so jaundice. Also, we can bring in Tila. You can see, really, bottom half, at least, of Stephanie McMahon is short of her boots. It seems like she shares the lower legs and the arms of both Tila and Evil Lynn. More on that in a second. The figure comes included with extras. I didn't want to necessarily call them accessories because some could argue the point that a mini-comic isn't really considered an accessory. Anyways, for the mini-comic, we can have a look at that right now. It's pretty skimp on delivery again. You're basically only getting a single sheet. That's it. The front, I'm guessing she's dreaming of Triple H. Okay. She's using, I'm guessing, her scepter, and maybe she's going to be using Triple H's skull to resurrect him. It's possible. If you look on the inside cover, you get a quick read-up, along with a picture of Stephanie McMahon. It says, Evil Billion-Dollar Skull Queen. That's actually her true bio, too. If you go on LinkedIn, that's what it actually says for Stephanie McMahon. And then on the other side, you're basically only getting 5 panels. No dialogue, no explanation of to what's actually happening here. I thought this may have been Triple H up the top. Maybe that's Edge, I don't know. Needless to say, though, she seems to be, I don't know, shattering the statue of Triple H, the remains of Triple H. If that's the case, then is this Triple H here? I don't know. Nothing is really being laid out here for me to understand properly. Anyways, on the back, you get the advertisements for the other 3 figures, 2 of which I have not yet picked up, the Kane and Ultimate Warrior. Goldberg, we have already had a look at him in a previous review. Feel free to get a good gander of that when you have some available time. Let's move that to the side. Okay, so she comes with a bunch of stuff. Wow, solid reviewing skills there. Well, thank you. She comes with, okay, let's start first. She comes with a Triple H skull. Something we have seen the game, the Cerebral Assassin, actually wear for WrestleMania. It's got the chainmail drapings on either side, the crown along the top, and a big giant skull face in the front. It's supposed to attach to her face. Supposed to. Let me show you what's happened here, or what will happen. We're going to go ahead and take this. It's supposed to clamp essentially right here and right here. Well, you'll see what I mean in a second. We'll clip this onto her face. For starters, I think it looks ridiculous. It looks like she's wearing something that doesn't belong to her. From the side, it just barely holds on, and one of the problems I have with this is as it attaches to the figure, if you decide to move the head just slightly, it actually, well, it's not doing it right now. There it goes. It fires across the room. I have had to go and try to track down where this went 3 times already, because it sprung off of her face. That may have been something they may have wanted to have stressed on the back of the packaging. Caution, face mask may fly off and shoot across the room. You could technically move it a little bit further up. It still looks a little on the ridiculous side, but it still seems to have the problem of it flicking forward. Although, if you move it a little bit further, I guess it's not as bad. Just don't want to have it too far down on the figure's face. So there's that. Then she comes included with a scepter. I'm going to assume that this is a scepter. Somebody that tackles and deals with witchcraft and war, being a warlock more so, probably would be able to pinpoint exactly what this is called. But we're going to go with a Scepter for the time being. I'm just grabbing Evil Lynn's to give you guys a comparison between the two. The top half seems very much Evil Lynn, though the bottom half looks more like something that Scareglow would be carrying around with him. Oh, hey, there's an idea. I could potentially pillage this from Stephanie and maybe use it for Scareglow. I don't like it. In a way, I do kind of like it. I'm not so crazy about the mask, especially having to track it down now, again, 3 different times. You can take the Scepter and put it into her hand, either one of her hand, really. Even though the handle seems slightly on the big side, she seems okay holding it. That's what it looks like. It looks a little strange, really, on her. Both this and this look a bit strange, maybe because the Scepter isn't the proper color. If they had done it maybe in a black or a darker color, I think it would have gone better with her. But I guess to be fair, there really is silver on the rest of her body as well. No harm, no foul. Let's go ahead and put that to the side. Take this off. Surprised that time it didn't shoot across the room. We're going to do some comparisons right now. I'm going to grab, again, Evil Lynn version 2 that we looked at before. Technically, I could, again, use just Evil Lynn version 1. I kind of like this one of the two. Now, looking at the headdresses, I just assumed that they were going to be the exact same. And sure enough, if you're looking at them, they are different from one another. Well, of course, that would make some sense because this isn't a separate piece. They would have to have remolded a new face sculpt for Stephanie McMahon anyways. So it wouldn't have made any sense, really, just to use the same molding as Evil Lynn's original headdress. Though the body, you can see the top torso is different. Stephanie McMahon's got kind of like a V-neck shirt. I guess it's really part of a jumpsuit. The arms, though, while looking at them, the bracelets that are on the biceps, as well as the gauntlet bracelets down below on her hands, are identical. They look to be exactly the same. So, of course, they probably have used the same arms. The lower torso, as you can see, are also the exact same, coloring different from one to the other. Silver and the black does look quite good, I have to say. And then the lower legs, short of the fact that this one does have wrestling boots, the lower legs are also the same as well. So there has been things that they have used from one figure to the other. I don't blame them. I can't imagine them producing a Stephanie McMahon figure from scratch. Looking at the head sculpt for Stephanie McMahon, I feel it sort of under-delivers. I don't know if I would say it looks so much like Stephanie McMahon, though. One of the big contributing factors for me saying that is, well, she looks, I don't know, blasé. Where is the devilish smile on her face, like she's getting away with murder? I don't know. I just feel like the face sculpt is sort of under-delivering here. I felt the same way when we looked at Goldberg, but at least Goldberg had stuff enough going on for him. Stephanie McMahon's face just feels, I don't know, uninteresting to me. Could they have fixed the problem by giving her a big giant smile on her face? Sure, why not? I think that would have certainly gone a long way. In fact, going again back to Evil Lynn, I keep pulling this one back out. Even if they had given her the type of mouth that Evil Lynn had had, I think that would have worked a lot better. Her closed mouth just seems so strange and off-putting almost here on Stephanie. I really don't think it looks at all like her. To be fair, though, none of the Masters figures have looked like their WWE counterparts. But I feel like Stephanie McMahon may have been one of the worst culprits here of just not looking at all like the character. They're very full in the face as well. I do like kind of that glitter effect that they've given her eyeshadow, though. That's somewhat interesting. The lips, though, seem like they're just the off color. They're the wrong color for me. Yes, you probably have also noticed this whole time that she's also got a smudge on her nose. It came out of the packaging, sadly, that way. So I find like the face is just okay. Part of me is almost even fascinated by the idea. Let's see if I can actually do this here. I haven't yet tried this. Probably not even a good idea to be doing it the first time on the camera, but I'm going to go ahead and just pop the head sculpt off of her. I'm going to go ahead and grab Evil Lynn here. We're going to do a little bit of experimenting. Oh boy, I probably shouldn't have yanked that completely out. Can that go back in there? Oh, see, now I've started separating the torso. This is why I probably shouldn't have done this here on camera. Well, I'm going to have to go ahead and retrieve her head sculpt. Boy, that was a failed opportunity. I thought, if anything, I probably could have taken the head sculpt off of Evil Lynn and swapped it then out with this one, just to kind of see what it would have looked like. Not only did I remove both the ball joints, I should have planned this in pre-production before actually attempting it. I think I've also slightly separated the body as well. So I'm going to have to find and retrieve Evil Lynn's head that's wandered somewhere onto the floor and put it back where it rightfully belongs. Should have never really even tried that. Anyways, let's go back to where we should have started from and just leave it as is. Let's get hit the head sculpt back into place. You know, the funny thing is, though, that they've advertised swapping the heads and the limbs and all that, but I guess really they advertise it more so on the male figures, not so much on the female figures, so maybe don't try what I just tried. Missed opportunity, I think, to not have that be a removal, or as easy as it really should have been. Anyways, though, looking at the rest of the body, spin it around, you can see it's an all-black outfit with a lot of nice silver accents here. The silver is actually painted pretty good, though. There's no real messy places on this figure. Things even like the bracelets on her arms, for example. Figure that may have bled a bit onto the skin, and certainly not the case at all. The panel lining is also nice as well. It just feels like it's just a very uninteresting costume, too. Maybe they could have done something different. I don't know if Stephanie would have stepped in and said, hey, wait a minute, I don't want bare legs like headless Evil Lynn here. At least give me pants. Maybe that's the one thing that makes this figure seem so boring. I don't know. The black and the silver work well, but it just seems like a very uninteresting character. Maybe it's just the fact that the head sculpt under-delivers for me, that I sort of just then write off the rest of the figure as well. Looking at the articulation, though, on Stephanie McMahon, her head rotates back and forth. You can probably already see the problem that's facing this figure is the fact that she has really super long hair. So, of course, it's going to hit the sides of her shoulders and then abruptly stop right there. Sure, yes, you could force it all the way around, but I don't know why you would want to do that anyways on your figures. The head also hinges up a little bit, down, and also slightly back and forth as well. As for the shoulders, those hinge out at a comfortable 90-degree angle bend. You can rotate the arms all the way around. She does have a bend at the elbow, which also allows, by the way, that forearm to rotate back and forth. And you can also rotate, of course, the hands all the way around as well. That's a staple. That's something you would come to expect by now. The waist swivels back and forth. The legs split out. There's one. There's two. Almost get a Van Damme splits happening there. You can bring the legs forward. You can bring them also back. She has a single hinge in the knee, which also allows the lower leg to rotate back and forth. Yes, there was a little bit of paint that flaked off the back of it. It's actually happened on this leg as well. This one finally just decided to do that as well. Swivel on the boots. You can hinge those back and forth, those feet, that is. And there is also a slight ankle pivot as well. Stephanie McMahon. I don't think we've actually gotten ourselves a Vince McMahon WWE Master Universe figure. I wonder if there's a reasoning for that. Maybe Vince just said, you know what, I lend my likeness enough to other figures. I don't plan on lending my likeness to anything that's going to be Masters of the Universe related. But Stephanie McMahon's fine for the job. She's an okay figure. There's just, I don't know, there's something that comes up a little bit short to it. And I'm not just saying it for the fact that I failed, unfortunately, trying to swap the head sculpt off. I was just curious to see what Evil Lynn's head should have looked like on the body. That's something I probably should have done behind the scenes. Tried it first, not just come up with the idea during the course of the review. That's how we make mistakes like that. But I will retrieve where Evil Lynn's head is, and I'll put it back on her body. And then, of course, displaying Evil Lynn, while I may not display her with the rest of Skeletor's cronies, I'll be definitely displaying her with the rest of the WWE Master Universe figures that we've collected, or I've collected so far. For those worried about the whereabouts of Evil Lynn's head, don't worry. Put your mind at ease. I did locate the head. It's back in the body where it rightfully belongs. Although I take this as a precautionary tale, don't swap out the head sculpts for the female figures. You can do it for the male figures, and there's probably a reason, again, why. They advertise mixing and matching for more the male figures than the females. You can still do it with a lower body and the arms and stuff like that, but just, I don't know, stay away from the heads. That's bad mojo. It caused the whole body to sort of start separating at the seam. Again, I've got Evil Lynn back to normal. I'm not going to do that again. I learned my lesson. Looking at the back of the packaging here, we have a pretty imposing looking Stephanie McMahon. I don't know why I went for such the dramatic pause there. I kind of wish that the figure could have looked as cool as this, giving her the scepter and giving her that skull crown from Triple H. Looks great in that illustration, but sort of makes her look silly when you see her in person. So far, I've noticed a lot of the WWE Masters Universe figures they're not as interesting as the Masters Universe regular figures. Could be just the fact that I'm more interested in the regular Master Universe Origins figures that I find like just the WWE ones are almost there, but they're just coming up ever so slightly short. Stephanie McMahon at least does have 2 accessories, one of which I'm actually considering displaying with Scare Glow. That Scepter seems very Scare Glow-like. I might just end up displaying it. As for the crown and skull, I could put it on her face. The second time I tried that seemed to stay a little bit better, but the first couple of times I put it on her face, I must have just had it too low on her head, and every single time, I tell you, every single time I moved that head, pew, across the room, it would go. Luckily, my new kitten hasn't picked it up and decided to take off with it. I would have never been able to find it. Speaking of never being able to find it, have you been able to find any of these WW Masters of the WWE Universe figures? And if you have, let me know down below in the comment section which ones you picked up. Of course, though, we have finished looking at Goldberg, and we have finished, of course, looking at Stephanie McMahon. There's still Kane, and there's still the Ultimate Warrior. I haven't seen either one of those in my local Walmarts. I think this is a slightly older wave as well, so this should have been something I should have done earlier. Sort of like trying the heads on Evil Lynn I should have done that earlier instead of hitting record. C'est la vie. Certainly, if you are new to this channel, enjoying all the content you're seeing, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, turn the bell notification and keep your peepers peeled to this channel, because there will in fact be more reviews. More reviews? Is that what he does on this channel? It is, sir, and I can hear you whispering in the background. There are, yes, more videos coming your way, so keep your peepers peeled, and as always, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.